So in this video, I'm going to give you 29 personal boundaries to use as an anxious attachment style, right? These boundaries could make you become secure in your life and especially in romantic relationships. So I'm going to list off 29 boundaries that you could use. So you could write these down or you could listen to this over and over again, right? So one of the main things anxious attachment style person would struggle with is emotional dysregulation, which means like you have emotions that are overly intense in comparison to the situation that triggered them, right? So this could mean that you are sometimes unable to calm down. Sometimes you feel like you're on the edge, or you feel like you're out of control, or you could even feel like you're having a panic attack when it comes to big, strong emotions. Or you may avoid difficult emotions. Or sometimes you focus your attention on the negative. You have a lot of negative thoughts. And you could be sometimes extremely pessimistic until you spiral. So most people with emotional dysregulation or someone with anxious attachment style also would behave like impulsive, have impulsive manner where their emotions are like out of control, whether it's fear, sadness, anger, worry, loneliness, where for example you may suddenly or unexpectedly call or bombard someone with text messages who maybe you have lost touch with, or you call an ex-partner because you think that they will bring you relief when you have these big emotions, or they will make you happy, or they will help you to escape the intense emotion that you are experiencing and the strong feelings that you are having. So that's like impulsive, to suddenly call somebody or to bombard them with text messages hoping that they will bring relief to you, right? So people with anxious attachment style, obviously you experience anxiety, and anxiety creates a feeling of desperation. And when you feel desperate, you make poor decisions, right? For example, especially with anxious attachment style, you could just break up a relationship suddenly because you feel jealous or you feel neglected. You suddenly break up the relationship, or you suddenly have an argument and cause problem because you think your partner is taking too much space, or they're taking too much time to do their hobbies, or you feel like there's not enough reassurance, or there's some sort of misunderstanding, and you just suddenly just break up the relationship just because you're feeling these emotions, right? Or you could feel like there's not enough quality time between you two, and you could create an argument and you just impulsively break up with them, right? You could feel like with emotional dysregulation, having an anxious attachment style, you could feel like you need to perform a certain action to get rid of the anxious feelings or to get rid of these anxious thoughts because they're so overwhelming. Like call somebody constantly while they're with their friends, or while they're with their family, or while they're on their job, and you create an argument. You're trying to get attention, or trying to relieve this feeling of anxiety, right? You can perform behaviors without thinking things through, or you do activities without thinking, and all of this will cause problems, right? So this is why I'm going to give you 29 personal boundaries that you could use for yourself to help you to become more secure, to have emotional regulation. And having emotional dysregulation could have an impact on you. And one of the first things is you will struggle to let things go. You struggle to let different experiences go. When you have emotional dysregulation, you tend to hold grudges, right? That's the first one. Next, Sometimes you can't sleep properly because you're worrying and thinking a lot. Next, you could get into arguments, minor arguments, or you blow them out of proportion to the point where you end up ruining relationships and breaking up suddenly with someone and you regret and then you want to make back up again. Or you could have trouble resolving conflict. Sometimes we lack in communication skills and we have a high temper, or we have outbursts, or we're arguing a lot, or you're crying a lot with just uncontrollable emotions. Can't control your emotions. The next impact of emotional dysregulation is you might develop substance abuse. You get addicted to drugs or drinking or smoking. The next one, you could develop mental disorder later on in your life because of poor ability to regulate your emotions. Example, depression. Next one, you have problem making friends. You have problem keeping your friends. Right? This is the impact of having emotional dysregulation. Problem complying with requests at work or requests at home or requests in your relationship. And the last one I have is you will have problems focusing on tasks because you're worrying a lot and you are anxious. Right? So I'm going to give you 29 personal boundaries. These boundaries are aimed to make you self-aware, mindful, to self-reflect, to gain wisdom about yourself, and to develop emotional intelligence, right? So I'm going to start to list them off. You could call them affirmations, but it's personal boundaries you should have for yourself to help you develop emotional regulation. So, starting off, number one, which you could write these down, or you could listen to this over and over again. At least read these for 3 months straight, right? Every morning or every night, or you could read these or listen to this twice a day, in the morning and night. Whatever you're doing, writing them down or listening to it again. So, first one, when you are feeling anxious, neglected, abandoned, lonely, confused, bored, annoyed, stressed, frustrated, sad, angry, hot-headed, restless, overthinking, you feel stuck in a rut, you have a mood swing, you feel out of control emotionally, you will not reach out to anyone by calling them constantly or texting them impulsively or obsessively. You will be self-reliant and bring back yourself down to being emotionally stable by using calming techniques. Second one, you will not engage in impulsive texting or communicate with anyone when you communicate with anyone you know who is a bad influence to you when you are extremely angry, irritated, annoyed, or highly upset, right? Let me repeat that one. You will not engage in impulsive texting or communicate with anyone you know is a bad influence to you when you are extremely angry, you're irritated, annoyed, or highly upset. The third personal boundary is you will remove or distance yourself from toxic situations, people, places, and relationships. Fourth one, you will not make any decisions when you are angry, distressed, upset, confused, or frustrated. You will wait until you are stable in your mind and you will make the decisions after. Fifth one, you will rest when you are feeling burnout and exhausted. Sixth, you will not be involved in any arguments, cursing, or being loud, or cause any scene at any moment. You will not scream violently or make any dramatic loud outbursts at home or work or any public place. You will respond firmly, you will respond calmly, and you will keep your composure. Seventh one, you will maintain emotional maturity. You will learn emotional intelligence. Right? 8. You will not drink or smoke anymore once you have reached your limit. Or any other addiction you have, you will not do that anymore until you reach your limit. 9. You will not overwork or be a workaholic. 10. You will not buy items impulsively, overeat, drink excessively, smoke excessively, play video games for many hours, watch pornography, get into relationships, or just be around friends that are not good for you when you are feeling overwhelmed with uncomfortable emotions or find yourself in difficult situations. So those were some addictions that people have when they feel uncomfortable, right? 11. You will look at your flaws, your dark side, your trauma responses, your defense mechanism, and the devil in you before you criticize or point a finger to accuse anyone or tell them what to do. You will not fix or try to rescue anyone. Right? These are personal boundaries aimed for people with anxious attachment style who have problems with regulating their emotions. 12. You will cultivate wisdom with your experiences. You will learn from your mistakes and develop good judgment in all situations in your life. 13. You will listen to your intuition and your gut feelings. 14. You will take care of your physical and emotional health by doing checkups and checking in with yourself emotionally. 15. You will not betray yourself by people pleasing, being codependent, overgiving, trying to fix or rescue people, or say yes when you want to say no. 16. You will not waste more than 3 months getting to know someone without transitioning into a relationship. So these personal boundaries are dealing with relationships and life in general, right? Work or family, whatever relationship you have, right? You will date with intention. If you want a commitment or you want marriage, you will date with that purpose in mind. You will move on if the person does not have the same goals or if they are not on the same path with you. 17. You will give 1 or 2 chances if people treat you unfairly, if they lie, if they disrespect you, if they take you for granted in any way, or if they mistreat you. 18. You will stop reaching out first, initiating contact and planning ahead. 19. You will stop being clingy, needy, desperate, and always seeking attention to feel regulated, valued, or safe. 20. You will not accept disrespectful behavior in dating or getting to know someone. For example, you will not accept lateness, canceling last minute, in and out of your life at any time, hot and cold behavior, breadcrumbing, wishy-washy behavior, reckless behavior, not committing on time, sneaky behavior, being flaky, fickle. You will not accept any condescending tone of voice. You will not accept ghosting, disappearing, lies, stringing you along, or buying time. You will not accept being taken for granted. You will not accept people dropping off the earth for no reason, being unresponsive, hiding things, never rescheduling with you, being emotionally unavailable. You will not accept these disrespectful behavior in dating or even with friendships, platonic also. 21. You will not use short-term sex or be friends with benefits in hopes to get a relationship. You will not use any manipulation tactics to get a relationship. You will not fall in love fast. 22, you will not fall in love fast. You will not love too hard because you are focused on your life and your goals. 23, you do not tolerate player type guys or whoever you're dating. 24, you will not ignore red flags while dating. Most of my subscribers, I think, are women, so this is kind of geared to women. When I say you will not tolerate player type guys. 25, you will remember that people don't think like you. They don't have the same values. So when they show you who they really are, you believe them and you move on. Sometimes you hurt yourself looking too much on the good side of people. That is why I mentioned that. 26, you will remember that nobody is here to serve you, to meet your needs, or is responsible for how you feel or how your life unfolds. 27, you will speak up or you will speak your truth when you are feeling offended, hurt, disrespected, or devalued. 28, you will speak clearly, you will speak calmly with respect and awareness of your tone of voice, your body language also, especially if you feel like your emotions are intense or you're feeling out of control. Last one, 29. You will not overextend yourself to show how amazing you are, or to show how loving you are, or to show how caring you are, to be extremely nice to get a relationship. So those are the 29 personal boundaries you can use to help to become more secure, right? These boundaries are more geared to people with anxious attachment style or who have problems regulating their emotions. So if you wrote these down, you read these every day for at least 3 months straight. Every morning is best. Whenever you have time or in the night, or you could read these or listen to this twice a day, morning and night, right? You might not really know what is emotional intelligence or anything that I listed, but if you keep reading them over, with time you will automatically start to research things and know what I'm talking about, right? So those are the 29 personal boundaries you could use for yourself. People with anxiety, people who have anxious attachment style, people who feel like their emotions are sometimes big or too intense for them, or they feel out of control. So, and there are other things that you could do, like overall to regulate your emotions and to just reduce anxiety, right? So you could try to be more logical and question your thought pattern, right? Is this true? Is this a fact? Is this realistic? Right? You could also just try to be more wise and learn about emotional intelligence, learn about emotional regulation. You could also learn how to deal with your negative emotions. You could journal to sort out the feelings and sort out the thoughts you have and try to identify what is triggering you or what make you upset or what make you angry or what make you impulsive, right? If this is difficult for you, you could always go to therapy. You could have routines in your life to help you regulate your emotions, to help you reduce anxiety. You could recognize your triggers and you have a plan. So when you are feeling out of control, you know, I'm going to meditate, I'm going to do yoga, I'm going to focus on breathing, I'm going to scan my body to see whatever plan is suited for you. When you recognize that you have a trigger or you feel out of control, you know what you're going to do. Breathing exercises. The next thing you could do is exercise, burn off energy. Less energy means less desire to utilize it for negativity. Your mind will be clear of worry. So instead of drinking, smoking, playing video games, shopping excessively, impulsive shopping, watching pornography, or whatever addiction you have, you would exercise instead. The next thing is you do self-care. You eat well, you get a massage, you go in nature, you go to the spa, you hang out with your friends that lift you up. These are just things you could do to just regulate your emotions, reduce anxiety, stay busy working on your goals every day, and avoid or reduce contact with people who bring out the worst in you. So those are just some overall things you should try and do, right? So those were the 29 personal boundaries. If you read them over and over for at least 2 to 3 months, they will work, right? I did not go into explaining these things. This was just to list off 29 personal boundaries. So they will get to people with anxious attachment style. People have problems regulating their emotions. So read these over at least 2 to 3 months every single morning, and it will help increase your knowledge on emotional controlling your emotions and so on. I hope this video helps, and see you in the next video. Like this video if it helped, subscribe if you want, and see you in the next video.